Soccer 605, I have the privilege of visiting here with Dominic Usera of Rapid City. Dominic, thanks for taking some time to visit with us.
It's great to be here.
Now, you are a Stevens alumni.
I am.
And you played for Rushmore Soccer Club.
My entire soccer career.
And now you're playing at Ashford.
Yes, I will be going to my second year.
And that's a pretty tough program there. Made it into the national championship a few times in the last few years.
Yep, we actually ended 15th in the nation for NAIA this year. A lot of big competition.
So how did you make your choice about going to Ashford, Dominic?
A lot of it was through my dad. He has contacts, and I went there on a cold recruit, and I was like, well, I said that I would just go play my hardest and just see what happens. And the coach offered me money, and with an international team, it's a great place to play.
Well, and Ashford is NAIA, and there's a lot of other programs. When players are looking for where to go, sometimes they don't realize that those NAIA programs are every bit as tough to get into as some of the D1 programs.
Yes, those NAIA programs are actually really good programs to get into. We actually played a school earlier this year called Lindsey Wilson, and they've actually beat Division I top 10 teams 3-1, 4-1, and I think we actually lost 2-1 against them. But it's a great experience because you're playing with people from all over the world.
And that's something that you just can't replicate at a lot of schools, isn't it?
You really can't.
So what were some of the factors? You know, I know your dad helped you make some of the contacts there and get going, but what were some of the factors as far as looking to go to, isn't Ashford in Clinton, Iowa?
It is in Clinton, Iowa.
Now, how big a town is that?
It's about 30,000 people, half the size of Rapid City, but there's not a lot there just because it's a big factory town.
So what were some of the things that you were looking at that were your criteria when you chose a college?
Location was one of them. I wanted somewhere outside of South Dakota so that I could kind of expand. When my father coached here at NAU, there were a lot of international players here, and I kind of wanted the same experience. So I was looking for a school that could offer me those venues.
So what are some of the other places that people are from on your team?
We have players from Venezuela, Chile, Brazil, Ireland, France, England, Jamaica, Somalia, and Nigeria.
Wow, and so when you get a team that's that diverse, the common language is English typically, isn't it?
Well, you'd be surprised, it's actually more Spanish.
Oh, is it?
Yes, everybody, you kind of pick up on a little bit of everything.
Oh, well, it's a great experience, I think, for anybody to be able to have that and soccer is an international game. It's a game that really brings the world together, and when you can get them all together on one team, that's quite a special treat.
Yes, it really is.
Well, we wanted to visit with you today, Dominic, not just about your choices in choosing your college soccer career at Ashford, but also you're now taking on a new role as the coordinator for the long-standing John W. Usera Memorial Tournament. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, when I started this year, all I was going to do was kind of just run the website source of it. But as people stepped away because they were getting busy and my father couldn't handle it, I said I would take over the tournament and work with it these next few years.
Well, that's nice to step up. Now, how long has the Usera tournament been going?
This will be the 22nd year. It's been going since '92, I believe.
And so you don't have probably any real memories. Were you even born yet when your Uncle John passed away?
I was not, no.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, that he was gone before you were. So what's it like growing up? You know, this tournament is named after your uncle, and maybe you can give a little bit of explanation before I ask a few more questions about what the Usera Memorial Tournament is.
Well, it was different growing up around it. I was always a little bit part of it. When I was a little kid, I would go around selling 50-50 raffle tickets.
I remember that.
Yeah, and so I had a lot of fun then. And then as I started to get older, I would play on a few of the teams. And now I'm just helping to run it, and it's a great experience.
And for people that don't know, your Uncle John was an avid soccer player and fan, and he was on his way back from a tournament, isn't that right?
Correct.
And a car accident, and your family lost him and started this tournament as a memorial to his love of the game and to him.
Yes. And ever since then, we have given 2 scholarships out every year to seniors going on to play in college.
Well, and Soccer 605 founder Connor McKee was a recipient of one of those scholarships, and both Connor and Ramsey enjoyed playing in this tournament for many years, and we're looking forward to seeing them play tonight, but not in this tournament.
Right at the alumni game.
Yeah, the alumni game is going to be a lot of fun. So what was it like for you, Dominic, growing up in such an iconic soccer family in Rapid City? The Usera name, for people that don't know, your father is Luis Usera, who has been the DOC for Rushmore, has coached Rapid City Central. He's been a key figure in the soccer community in Rapid for quite some time. What is that like for you as a player?
It was hard. It was very hard growing up. Everybody thought that I kind of coasted off of his achievements, but I worked to get where I'm at today, and that's good enough for me.
Well, and yeah, and going out of state, obviously a few people down there know your dad, but not everybody. They know that you have to earn your own way, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Well, and being the coach's son or the coach's daughter always puts that additional burden on you. What about the expectations of being in a great soccer family? Not from everybody else, but just from, your dad is obviously a great player still, and he's getting up there in years.
My father still expects a lot from me. He expects I'm out at the soccer fields every day, Monday through Thursday, training soccer teams. He's had me looking at PDL, which is a semi-professional development league, and the expectations are still very high.
Yeah, well, and he also was the coach for National American University when they had the soccer program there. So it's nice to be able to break out and just make your own name, isn't it?
It really is. It's nice to be able to set a name for myself.
Yeah. So this tournament has been going on for over 20 years now. In the past, it's been primarily men's teams, I believe, and this year there are 6 women's teams?
6 women's teams, yes.
What do you see the future for the Usera Cup? What kind of differences do you see happening or changes?
I plan to bring in many more teams. Probably start a co-ed division. I've had a lot of requests for that, so we'll look into that next year. And I plan to start sending brochures and emails down to the adult divisions down in like Billings, Montana, Casper, Wyoming, over in Iowa, and Nebraska to bring more teams in.
So this year, where are the teams from that are going to be appearing next weekend?
Most of them are from here. We have one from Wyoming, another one from California, and mostly local teams.
And I do know of at least one women's team that's coming from Sioux Falls.
Yes. On the women's side, we do have Sioux Falls, Sturgis, another from Wyoming as well.
Well, the word is getting out there. It's always been a really fun tournament, and as long as it continues to grow and we get the word out, people keep on having fun, right?
Right. Our motto has always been friendship through competition, and we hope to continue on that.
One question I've always had, and I never thought to ask, but where this is a memorial tournament and you're raising funds for scholarship for local players, do the referees donate their time as well?
It's really up to the referee. A lot of the referees at New John will donate their time, and a lot of the referees that are close to our family donate their time back to the scholarship. But otherwise, we are open to pay the referees.
Well, it's a great opportunity, and one of the things we're doing with Soccer 605 one of our goals is to help build the soccer culture. And obviously having tournaments like this that are long-standing, and as far as I know, this is the longest-standing adult tournament in the state, these have a big impact on the culture. What do you see as changes going from the youth side of soccer to the adult side? What do you see as some of the changes in the soccer culture in the state?
Some of the changes that I see is that the younger teams aren't as committed to competition. They don't see that outside of South Dakota, there's an entire universe of soccer that they've never experienced. And so I think by bringing in more adult teams for this tournament, because we have a lot of kids that come to this tournament to watch, and if they see the competition that these adults play from other states, they'll want to go out to these bigger tournaments to play better teams and better themselves.
And that makes a big difference. I know we were at the Prairie Hills Invitational, which is another statewide adult tournament. It had its second year this year down in Sioux Falls recently, and there was a gentleman playing in that tournament that's, I think, 72 years old.
Yes, I think we have most of our players are young, but I do know of a few on the men's side that are going on to their 50s. So
Well, it's nice. Now there's going to be some parents out there of some of the guys we used to see in ODP are now coaching their own kids in soccer. So we're getting stronger in a broader base of soccer in South Dakota. The Usera Cup is a key part of that. So we wish you luck. It starts next weekend, right? Can you give us some details?
Starts next weekend. Our first game is on July 19th at 6 p.m. for the men's side and the women's side. We have 7 men's teams this year, 6 women's, and we just hope to bring more people out so that we can get more competition next year.
Will all the games be played here at Sioux Park, or where are they being played?
All of the men's games will be on Sioux Park 1 and 2, except for the championship, which will be on the stadium here. And the women's games will all be on Nortimer.
All right. Well, Dominic, thanks again for taking some time with us at Soccer 605. Carol McKee here with Dominic Usera. We're in the Bleachers.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks.